Okay. I forgot what I was going to say, but I think I remember now.
Okay.
I usually start, we usually start talking with what have we played, but I feel like it's been a lot of the same lately.
Pretty much, I'd want to say.
If you're playing it still, it's probably the slime game.
Yep.
Probably some Dreamlight here and there, and mainly Destiny.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think I've did not play Dreamlight since the Star Path ended, so.
Oh.
So
Do they? Okay, I don't play it as often or religiously as you two do.
Mm.
When the Star Path ends, does another one start automatically and take its place, or is there a lull between them?
There's a lull between them.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wonder why they wouldn't let it go on until the end, like for people who maybe didn't get it all.
Well, they do. They technically give like 60 days.
Okay.
I don't know.
Very rigid. Okay, so not much has changed since last week.
Nope.
I can't say anything because it's pretty much the same. If I'm not playing Destiny, I'm playing Zelda.
But I'm pretty sure at least one of those games isn't ripping your hair out when running through a dungeon.
Nah, I mean, even running through the new dungeon, it's not ripping my hair out. It's fun, even if it's tough. I'm enjoying it at least.
It's fun. I'm just like I said last time. I'm glad I got the cortisone shots, or that it would be painful.
Yes. Oh, it was also nice seeing you guys on Sunday and hanging out.
Yes.
Everybody came home and went straight to sleep.
Oh. Oh yeah. Sawyer was out very quickly.
Good. It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that everybody got pictures, but I'm not in any of them. I somehow managed to avoid all the pictures.
We'll have to make up for it next time.
I promise. I was there. I was around. I was doing things. Just managed to avoid everything.
If it makes you feel any better, the pictures I was in were not consensual.
Okay. Do you
Yes.
even know that they were being taken?
Yes, I did not.
Okay.
I didn't know they were happening at all. If you notice, it's usually when I'm holding the baby.
Of course. Because you look cute with a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Although she didn't go to sleep. But that's okay. Oh, she's alive.
Yay!
She's moving. I'm talking about Callie behind you, if you didn't
Oh.
know. There she goes.
Hi. She has. Just saying hi.
Hi. She looks so confused, like, what the fuck happened?
Yes, she is.
Hi. Do you want to start this by talking about the showcase since it's fresh in your mind?
Yes. Let's start on a good note.
Okay.
Let's actually introduce the show first.
I was just about to say we're gonna introduce it before we actually get into everything. And get into everything. I just noticed that I didn't label the last podcast correctly. I forgot to put the number at the beginning of it.
Uh-oh.
Oops. That's okay. It's easy to be fixed. This is the Ramblepack Podcast, episode 31. Made it to 30. I almost said 30, and it's last week was 30. This one's 31. And I'm your host, Adam.
And I'm your host, Mike.
What are you looking around for?
No, I'm just trying to go from page to page because I'm getting a list of the games that showed on. Because not every game on the showcase is listed in your list.
I thought I got everything. I know I didn't list the VR games by name because the only one that really stood out was Resident Evil 4.
Hmm.
But before we get into it, just I want to get your opinion on it. Like, how do you think it was?
Not bad for a show. A lot of the fluff was cut out. Basically, it was mainly videos.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to complain.
Did it make you excited for anything? Did it get you hype, or is it just like cool?
There were games I thought were cool. Though some I wasn't too interested in. Couple of them were definitely derivative of other games. But there were a couple of them that I was very I was like, ooh, I want it, but then I'm like, oh crap, I need a PS5. I'm like, shit.
You were probably a lot more positive than a lot of people online about it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. A lot of sentiment was like, it was a very meh showcase.
What the hell were they expecting? Fireworks?
I don't know. Just, I guess it didn't really wow people like a lot of the past showcases did.
Mm.
Can't win them all.
Pretty much. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It's not something that made me like jump for joy. I'm full. I'm hyper on crack type of thing, but
A lot of the trailers that I saw during that, I literally out loud was like, what the fuck is this? Just some of them are just really odd and out there. And I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of them seem like live service games. A lot of them are multiplayer centric.
fair enough. Yep, I'd have to say I would have to agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not, at least the live service games. The genres make sense. It's usually the shooter games, the military-esque type games.
What do you call the blatant Splatoon knockoff phone stars that they're doing?
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, holy shit.
That trailer was kind of rough to watch too.
A little bit. Like the vocals, I've seen better cutscenes from Square. I'm very surprised.
It might have been like a little team that they had on the side that broke off to do that, or they designated to put that thing together.
Right. But it was very obvious. That you had mentioned, like that was Splatoon knockoff, because I was like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Started squirting the bubbles, and then they showed gameplay. I'm like, oh my god, are they really doing that?
Listen, what was it? They're not the only ones that were looking like a knockoff. What the hell was it?
Helldivers 2 look like Halo.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the other one that it looked just like Starship Troopers?
I think that's Helldivers.
Which one of these was it? Is it? I just
Yeah.
remember that like the characters look like ODST Marines.
They it started, and the aliens even looked like the bugs from Starship Troopers.
Okay, that's probably right then.
Yeah, because when I saw it, I was like, wait, they're making a video game for this movie?
They did actually, or they are. Well, they did before, and they're making a new one.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. What the fuck was it? Not Ultros. It basically looked like a Zelda knockoff.
Which one?
I'm trying to remember the damn name.
Are you talking about the Plucky Squire?
No, that one looked cool. We've talked about that one in the past. That one actually has a good premise behind it. No, there was one that basically looks like Tears of the Kingdom style thing.
Yeah. That one is the word. The second word starts with an A. It's like Afsaba or something like that. Towers of Afazba.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Like, even at the beginning, they even had a mask in the water that looked like Majora's Mask, and I'm like, yeah. And then I saw the glider, and I'm like, yep, that's PlayStation's answer to Zelda.
Well, what do you think about Fair Games? That one looks like it's going to be a team of 3 heist battle royale style game, or maybe you're just facing off against 4 different teams of 3.
It looked like it could be cool. But it basically to me watching it, it basically screams Fortnite.
Interesting. Okay. Which trailers got you? What were you excited for?
No surprises there with Final Fantasy 16. Definitely very, very pretty.
No, really? No, I'm excited for that too. I want to see how combat is.
Same.
I keep hearing them hype a lot about combat and seeing what people can do, so I'm interested.
Yeah, that if there's ever a game outside of the next installment for Kingdom Hearts, it's gonna be that one. That's gonna cause me to get a PS5.
Won't be able to handle it any longer. I need it. Give it to me.
Marathon was interesting.
Yes, I am so excited for that.
Now, is it?
Although, I'm not an extraction shooter person. I don't know jack shit about Marathon, but it's made me go back and read like the lore from the game, because apparently it was a big deal when it came out back in '94.
Okay, so Marathon has nothing to do with Destiny then.
Funny enough, it doesn't, but it does.
I'm very confused.
So Marathon is its own story, and they're taking the setting and universe and stuff like that and building a game around it, doing its own thing. There is a military or governmental group called MIDA in Marathon that are kind of like running different businesses or whatever, doing shit. In Destiny, we get the MIDA multi-tool and MIDA mini-tool, and the lore from the guns on it are like direct tie-ins to Marathon. So it's kind of like they're all in the same kind of universe, but obviously it's not direct one-to-one as far as we know. And I only say that because a whole Inside the Traveler thing can house multiple universes or whatever the fuck it is. Or like there's multiple timelines and stuff like that going on. Well, so it's possible.
Well, the only reason I'm asking is just because of one where our conversations were like the theories of what the Traveler is and stuff like that. And then you see the scenes with the worms creating stuff. I'm like, really? Either Bungie's really obsessed with grubs, or there's got to be some type of connection there.
If you look really closely to a lot of their stories and games, there's a lot of crossover in them, like themes and whatnot. It's usually like teams of 3 or the number 7 or a long since dead ancient race that built everything or came before us and set up stuff for the future people, and like they could see the future, or rogue AIs, or somehow combining all that with military factions and stuff like that.
Okay. All right, so basically it's one of their building block storyline piece together type of thing.
I don't know what the story's going to be. All I know is that they have said that your character is a runner and you're looking for artifacts and relics and whatnot on Tau Ceti. So, don't know. We'll see how that goes.
I was more interested in what was right after.
Oh, the teaser for the final shape.
And I didn't catch it until the second watching that they actually have a date of what to look out for, and I'm like, oh shit.
So when they do the big, what do you want to call them? The big expansions like Lightfall and Witch Queen was, they'll do an hour-long presentation talking about that, going over the major story beats and what to expect gameplay-wise, and their plans for the future during those. So don't expect anything huge. They'll just tell you like the broad strokes of what they're going to do, and then save all that shit for when it comes closer to being time.
I'm looking forward to it, just because... I was
going to say something to look forward to.
Yep.
Something for all three of us to discuss later.
Hint, if you haven't seen it, our boy is back.
A lot of people were excited, and then all the memes came flooding in about the game's dying and Bungie needed to hit the Cade button to bring it back.
No, they just pull in an end game. Come on.
I love how that's what you keep referencing or like comparing it to, and I'm wondering if that's really how it's going to end up.
They're going to have a whole bunch of people come back and start attacking the Witness.
They're bringing the minor characters from the Red Board back, so I mean, it's not too far off now. First we had Asher, and now we've got Sloane. We're just waiting for Brother Vange from Mercury, and then we'll see what happens.
Well, I would just find it funny if at the end they end up bringing back like Savathun, Oryx, Zevora Wrath.
Let me tell you something. The way things are going right now, Savathun has got to come back either this season or next season with the way things are going. She's going to be an ally, or we're going to have to make an alliance with her at some point.
I agree with you completely, just because of the way they played her off in the Witch Queen. Not to mention the fact that basically her death was similar to Cade's, where they lost their ghosts in one way or another.
Well, she didn't. Savathun didn't lose her ghost. Her ghost ran.
Yeah.
So we killed her. The ghost ran away, and basically, the hidden, which is Ikora's like hidden agents or whatever for the Vanguard, they recovered Savathun's body and hid it somewhere where the ghost can't get close enough to it to revive her.
Okay.
So basically, she's dead for now and on ice until the ghost can either get close enough to her or we can catch him.
Oh, I thought the ghost returned back to the Traveler. That's the way I was reading it.
Nope. Because if you're running around the throne world and you pick up patrols, that's still you like hacking into their comms and picking up him talking to them.
Okay.
So he's still like leading the ghosts and whatnot in her absence.
No shit. Okay. I stand corrected. Never mind.
It's interesting. What do you think about Alan Wake 2?
Oh my god, Alan Wake 2. I'm trying to remember what that one was.
The lady FBI agent and looking for the disappearing of the dude. Talking about a lake and he's a writer.
Oh, where it's like a horror story come to life type of thing.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad looking. I would definitely want to find out more about it, to be honest.
So that's the same company that made Control, which I talked to you about, and I loved that game, and I loved Alan Wake, and I loved Quantum Break. So I like a lot of their games. I'm excited for number 2.
It definitely looks like it would be a scare type of game. So
that's kind of how the first one was.
Was it?
This one they're leaning really hard into the like horror, like survival horror aspect of it. The other one was like supernatural horror with action elements to it.
Yeah.
This one they've said explicitly that they're leaning full on into survival horror.
Okay. So more like Friday. No, not Friday the 13th. Yeah, Friday the 13th type of shit then.
There is a Friday the 13th game, but that's not survival horror. That's asymmetrical multiplayer.
No, I'm saying like you have to run away from a Freddy, not Freddy. Wow, a Jason type of character or whatnot.
I would say more like Resident Evil, less
Okay.
action oriented, more like you're a real person fighting against the supernatural entity.
Okay,
Oh
fair
shit!
enough.
I just scrolled all the way to the top of our list. Okay, I'm good.
I definitely like the extended gameplay of Spider-Man 2 though. That looked pretty.
It was cool looking. I'm interested in the story because they got the symbiote in action. You can see it's corrupting Peter.
Oh yeah, big time.
Why'd you say it like that? You put some spice on that. You didn't have any interest in Assassin's Creed?
I'm getting tired of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know I've said I wanted to try the other ones and whatnot, but lately it's just no. I watched it. It looks nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm just. It's a lot of the same at this point.
What killed it for me is they lost the interesting, like, real world story. Once, what's his face's like story was all wrapped up at the end of 3. None of it was really all that interesting because they had nothing to hang the story on.
Right. Was it the whole...
what they tried to turn it into, it fell flat. At least for me.
Yeah.
What were you gonna ask?
No, I was gonna say the whole purpose of it was for them to go back and relive the memories just to see where certain things were. If he's dead, there's kind of pointless going back into those memories, you know.
That's partially it. He was going back. Oh man, how many games have you played, if any? Because this is going to ruin a lot of it.
The majority of it has been 3. That's about it. But I know the premise of the rest of the games, though.
Okay, so Desmond, who is like the real world dude, he's at first he signed up at the Animus Project thing because Abstergo, and then they realized that he was the one that they were looking for, so they were basically keeping him prisoner there.
Mm-hmm.
But, he's living the memories, and because of the bleed effect or whatever, he's gaining the assassin powers or whatever the fuck it is.
Mm.
He's able to hone. It's kind of like the Matrix. He's learning the abilities by reliving the memories of his ancestors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he uncovers some plot by real, modern day Templars, and he is part of the modern day assassins, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So they're racing to find all the artifacts and whatnot to prevent the end of the world, and apparently only Desmond's the one who's able to do that. And Abstergo is stopping it, or trying to stop them, because they don't think that it's going to end the world.
Yeah.
That's basically the whole thing without giving away what happens.
And then he dies. Bum, bum, bum.
You're not wrong.
Wow.
Oh, and during that, they announced Project Q. I don't know how to feel about this. It's interesting, but it's also why do you need it? And I guess it's a handheld device that connects to your PS5 and allows you to play games via remote play.
But that's not new. The PSP
It kind of is. It's like Steam Deck, but you need remote play to make it work. It's like their answer for cloud gaming almost.
Yeah, but PlayStation's had that since the PS3. Because the PSP could do it for the PS3
Yeah, but
system.
this is a dedicated thing.
But the game would have to, according to the trailer, the game has to be installed on the PS5 anyways.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's the same. It's the same as the remote play function on the PS3 and PS4.
There might be something between the device and the PS5 that allows it for smoother gameplay, probably. Because, like I said, it's a dedicated thing. It's not another additional step to be able to play those games. It's on Sony specific hardware.
Right. I don't know. I just think if they're gonna go that route, they might as well have just done the handheld system, because you have to be on the same Wi-Fi connection as the PS5 to be able to do it. It's not like I can go to.
Well, apparently you can take this one away, so I wonder how that's gonna work.
Huh?
I think you could take this one out with you.
Really?
It wouldn't make sense to be able to leave it at home.
I'll have to look into that further, because I thought you couldn't. I thought it had to be on the.
Oh, it's even coming out later this year.
I thought it had to be on the same network. If not, then
it just says over Wi-Fi. Stream any game from your PS5 over Wi-Fi. Not home Wi-Fi specifically, just over Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. Well, if it has to be on the
games must be installed on your PS5, and PSVR games will not be supported.
But even then, I'm like, I don't know.
I like how at the end of this article it also says, PlayStation also revealed a pair of official wireless earbuds. Woo!
Which would probably be the only thing that can connect to it.
Maybe. Don't they have Bluetooth headphones already for, the controllers?
Yeah. And before you could, connect, Turtle Beach headphones and stuff like that to them. And then they disabled... I don't know about the PS5, but at least, on the PS4, you used to be able to. And then with a patch, they disabled that type of stuff. Which kind of pissed me off, to be honest.
That's really weird. That's it's like back in the day when Microsoft turned off the ability to use third-party flash drives for memory storage on the Xbox.
Yeah.
You could only use officially licensed stuff. And then they reversed it anyway, so what was the point?
They tried to get away with it to see if they could. And when they got the backlash, they didn't. That's the shit that, for example, I know it's not video games, but it's the same exact situation as with printers and name brand inks. HP right now is currently in the middle of a lawsuit where
This is the same one I thought of.
Huh?
When you started mentioning it, this is the first thing I thought of too.
There's in the software, and they claim it's not there, but it's there, where you try to put in a third-party cartridge, and it won't recognize it, and you can't use it.
Mm-hmm.
But you use it in any other printer, it's fine.
That's how they get you.
Pretty much.
So I want you to tell me more about this Embracer Group story, because I found it kind of interesting.
Yeah, they won't say what Adam's talking about is Embracer Group is the company that that just recently bought out didn't buy out the company, but bought out a division from Square Enix that held Deus Ex, Tomb Raider, Dead Island, Lord of the Rings.
You did it again.
Huh?
You said Deus Ex instead of Deus Ex.
Deus, whatever. You know what I mean. But
Deuces, man.
But after that, apparently they had a $2 billion deal with some unnamed company that didn't fall through, and apparently it was so bad that the CEO at one of their at their last company meeting didn't look so hot. I don't blame the guy.
What do you mean he didn't look so hot? Like he looked like he hadn't slept in a while?
Have you seen the picture?
No, I didn't. I didn't look into any of it. I want you to tell me.
No. Scroll up to the section.
It's like 1,000-yard stare.
Oh yeah, it was bad. And obviously there's like, if you think about it, $2 billion deal. There's not many companies around that could float that kind of cash. So theories are it could have been Sony, Microsoft, possibly.
That would be weird if it was Sony, because it's like going back too, because Sony does a lot of work with Square Enix, so it's like selling off that to just buy it back again.
I don't know.
It's interesting.
I could see them doing that and then backing. I could see them backing off too, because game sales.
Did the article not explain why it fell through or any kind of important information? Just they didn't name the company or anything, or why?
It didn't explain why. It just said that there was that he announced that at one of the meetings that they were in talks, and this was for a while. It's with a company that they trusted, supposedly. The $2 billion deal, and then just out of nowhere they backed out. They wouldn't say who it was, what the reasoning was, or anything like that. It's just that they backed out, and apparently it was bad enough that he had that kind of reaction at his meeting.
Yikes.
Yeah.
All right.
I can see the why any of the four people that they listed, at least the page that I was reading, listed as possible. Sony, I can see it happening.
I can see that, and I can also see Netflix doing it, because apparently they're trying to expand their gaming division.
Right. I can see Amazon and Netflix doing it for that reason.
Yep.
But I can also see Netflix backing out because of the losses that they've had recently. So,
that too, yeah.
Sony, I could see doing it and backing out because of the shit that's going on with Microsoft and Blizzard. Probably don't want to turn around Microsoft saying, "Hey, you gave us shit for this. Why would you?"
Pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah, pretty much. So I could see that happening. And
Makes you wonder.
Yeah, and under that same guise, I don't see Microsoft doing the same thing with another company. And be like, all right, let's back off.
Yeah, no, I mean they have what, $7 billion wrapped up in the deal right now. I don't know if they want to spend another $2 billion on this company.
True, or at least not want to deal with the headaches. At that point, not worth it.
Also, did the article specify if it was just like a selection from their category of titles, or did it specify anything like that? Because maybe that $2 billion could include all of their stuff.
I want to say they were. They were going to be acquired completely. Let's see. Stock tanked day after it was revealed. Company lost out on a $2 billion game development deal. At last at the last minute last night. Actually, because of that transaction. Oh, it was just a partnership. It wasn't a buyout or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. So maybe they were going to get money from somebody for their titles to make the games?
Probably. Okay. But yeah, they were supposedly they were relying on that deal big time.
Well, they spent a bunch of money acquiring all those titles. I'm assuming they'd want to make it back somehow.
Pretty much. Or at least have some capital to get them going.
Yeah, because hopefully they don't have to start laying off anybody after that.
It's not going to be pretty.
Hopefully it's not that bad. Oh, since we talked a little bit about it earlier and I didn't mention it then, so Alan Wake, the developers, what is it, Remedy, Jesus fucking Christ, that's Remedy there. They're doing a cool thing with Alan Wake 2 where it's going to be a digital-only game. They're not going to do physical copies of it, and they're specifically doing it to keep the price at $60.
Okay.
I think that's pretty neat.
I don't.
Come on.
I'm gonna have to be opposite to that.
Shit! What?
Because I'm. We've talked about
what
this.
What are you, anti-consumer?
No, I'm the type of person. I'm for keeping the prices down. Don't get me wrong.
But
I'm also the type of person that likes. I'm old school and likes to have a physical copy of the game.
I want to say I still am in that camp, but less so now because now I'm very specific about games that I'm trying to collect. If anything, I want very specific physical games, and I want older consoles again. I'd like to have another GameCube back. I want an old Xbox again, and that's because I've got games that I can only play on those systems.
Yeah.
But like all these new games and stuff, if I can get them digital, that's fine, but I have to really want it to get physical.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm just so used to paying that kind of price for a physical game.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. Not to mention,
I think it's cool of them to at least do that.
Right. Now, my question is, what price had they done physical copies? What price would that have been then? How much higher were they expecting?
It would probably to me, this sounds like they would have to bump it to $70 because of the amount of time and money spent on development, and just being able, and like you have to obviously pay to get the physical editions made.
Yeah.
Which is who knows how much from their budget as well.
Yeah.
So by cutting that out, they're saving money and are able to just do digital only and keep it at $60, I guess. Maybe their price or their purchase expectations for the game are offset enough. I guess through just digital alone that they don't need to, or like that's just what they're expecting. But who knows?
To justify that price point, the game's got to be good. That's all I'm saying.
I can pretty much guarantee you it's going to be good. It's a Remedy game. They really don't miss.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, since we're on the topic of Sony today,
it's just been a lot of Sony news this week.
Yeah, and some not so good.
I'll say the only Xbox. Yeah, the only Xbox and Microsoft news that I've seen, besides South Korea approving the Activision Blizzard merger, is they put out a teaser that's setting kind of Twitter off right now. Not in a bad way, in a good way. Like, people are speculating. They put out a teaser that it was, like, the music sounded like something from Fable, and something led to something else with, like, a gold shimmer, like a trail.
Yeah.
And in the Fable games, you have, like, a waypoint that points you in the right direction, but it's usually like a gold shimmering trail that goes along whichever direction to your waypoint on your map. So people are speculating that they're going to reveal some big Fable news or are going to talk about it at some point.
Yeah, I hope so. Those were good games.
Anyway, you were saying.
Yes. Apparently, PlayStation's being accused of abusing games, the game industry with the PS5 exclusives.
What?
Yeah. Uh,
I didn't hear about that.
the Romanian Competition Council has accused the platform's parent company of abusing its position. They published a press
This is
release.
a very interesting argument.
Yeah. They published a press release, which is machine translated in English, detailing why I believe the way PlayStation markets and sells its exclusive games needs to be reined in a little bit, basically. Biggest sticking points are PlayStation selling games exclusives through the PS Store, not allowing third-party distributors self-codes.
Ooh, I didn't realize that.
The Competition Authority had indicated that Sony may have abused its dominant position in the video game market, both by selling online video games and by prohibiting the sales of activation codes video compatible with PlayStation consoles by competing distributors. There also another accusation was they attempted to make people think that almost everything out there can only be played on its console.
Council.
Yeah, with the...
Not console.
Console, sorry.
I just love picking on you.
Like with the way they presented their showcase, a lot of
I was gonna say that. Yeah. Yes, I'm glad that you had brought that up. That's how they presented the showcase, and like right after or during it, Xbox was like showing, "Hey, this game's gonna be on Xbox as well," or they're putting up trailers on YouTube saying this one's gonna be on Xbox as well.
And I don't see anything wrong with it, to be honest. It's not they didn't lie. They didn't say it was exclusively theirs, because there were a few of them.
No, they didn't. But it was only all Xbox trailers. None of them said also to these consoles. Some of them, I think, maybe said also PC.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it ever saying like this game is coming out on all these things or whatever. There's just like, here's the trailer for the game. Yeah. So that way it's kind of like, you're guessing if it's going to be PlayStation only, or are they implying that it is, and you have to find out?
Right. And it's not. That's where the gray area is, to be honest.
Yes.
So
I get the argument with what they're saying in comparison to the showcase.
Right. I get the argument too, but at the same time, it's the showcase. They're showing off what their systems are going to be getting. They're not saying it's only going to the PlayStation.
I guess in that sense, it's a matter of how you look at it too.
Because I want to see, literally, I want to see how Xbox and Nintendo deal with that on their showcases coming up. To say, hey, these games, whether or not they're going to do the same thing, and mention, hey,
Nintendo has always said that it's coming to other systems as well. I'm pretty sure the Xbox does too, but I know for a fact Nintendo does.
Okay. So then Nintendo's good.
You say Nintendo's good. I would say Nintendo's okay about business stuff, but they're assholes when it comes to defending stuff. They just put out a cease and desist for or they hit Steam with the DMCA for the Dolphin emulator on Steam. So they had to take it down.
Oh, geez.
Dolphin is the GameCube emulator. I think we talked about this a few weeks ago too, where Steam allowed the emulator to go up, and they kept working on it and doing whatnot. And Nintendo was like, "Fuck you, take that shit down." And that's Nintendo's MO too when it comes to emulators or people making ROM hacks of their games or taking the games and making something from it. They just shut that down every time. And I'm going to say this is another one of those don't fuck with the mouse situations. You don't mess with Nintendo because they get sue happy, but it's still a shitty position to be in because it stifles creativity.
Pretty much, especially if they're not going to be making those games available. To be honest, or at least
in a lot of other devs' cases too, it's like if you're making money off of their IP and doing things like that. Yeah. Sure, you have all the right in the world to shut it down. But if you're just like, you're making something from it, showing the world, or allowing people to download it for free to experience it, I feel like that's a totally different story.
Right. My question is, do they even have the grounds for the emulator, to be honest? Because it may be their software. but is it really infringing on their copyright or trademark? Because you can't. It's along the same lines. To me, it's the way I'm seeing it, it's along the same lines of what we just went through with D&D.
So emulators and ROMs have always been kind of a gray area. With emulators, it's always possible that if you have the game, you can play the game without the system, and that's kind of like circumventing them from getting a sale from it too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, ROMs will circumvent them getting sales from games.
Yeah.
You know, because that, for all intents and purposes, the ROM is the game. You just need something to be able to play it, which means those ROMs, I'm pretty sure it's possible that you can burn it through whatever format you need for a GameCube and play it in the GameCube or the PlayStation or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, eats into that company's profits.
Yeah, but how much more profits are you going to get off of N64 games?
It's not about that. It's just about the fact that they own the rights to that IP and those systems and stuff.
They own the rights to the IP, but they don't own the rights to the process.
But because they do, not other people should have access to those kind of things and do it for free. Because it's like they have free reign for it. Mm. And then what if they take that and make money from them?
That's where I'm getting at from. To me it seems the similar situation to D&D, where the rules and the setups and stuff like that, there's no grounds for the process. You can't copyright the process.
But it's not a process usually, it's a direct rip from the game.
But then
they're not backwards decompiling the game and then creating an image from that. They're taking the game as it is, pulling it from whatever hardware it's on, and then throwing it online.
But they're giving the cease and desist for the emulator, though.
Same thing. You still need to know how the system runs to be able to make it work. So they just take the memory from it or whatever, figure out what makes the games run on that, and build it off of that.
Right, but that's my point. That's the process.
But the coding and stuff is still Nintendo property.
Okay.
See, I'm all for the argument that it should be legal or at least managed well, because I don't think ROMs and emulators are that bad, and it's another way to preserve video game history and stuff.
Right.
But I also understand Nintendo's side of having to protect their stuff and doing so. It's just a shitty area because they fight it so hard.
Yeah, because and they're gonna have to. I get their point is they wanna fight it so hard so that people aren't stupid enough to do it again.
It feels like they do like to make examples out of people, because there was that one court case a couple weeks ago where it was like this dude did something, like he hacked something or he got something some way from Nintendo. And because he was the first one to successfully do it or found a way to do it, they hit him hard as a way to deter other people from trying in the future.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same case that you're talking about, but are you talking about the guy that it was more so the fact for them to deter businesses from copying their shit, or he was like some type of he was a little guy in the whole process where he wasn't
right,
even,
but he was part of a team that did this too.
Right, and he just happened to be the fall guy, and
he's the one that they got. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and then they punished him to the extent of the law where the amount of money would make sense if it was a business that was doing it, but this is an actual person.
Yeah.
And this guy will never pay that off.
Nope.
So basically, you're garnishing this guy. He's going to have his wages garnished, and he'll never. And he'll be in the poverty line his entire life.
Yep.
That's not right. I don't agree.
All as a means to keep other people from doing the same shit.
Right. I don't know. I think there's
Nintendo's gonna Nintendo.
Yeah.
They make good choices for games and business and whatnot, but when it comes to anything else, they're like, fuck everybody.
Pretty much.
Yay.
But yeah, circling back to what we were talking about, the RCC's pulled that up with PlayStation.
You mean we're not done with that yet? I'm just kidding.
But yeah, they're calling them out with that shit. So hopefully, let's see what they do.
That's really surprising.
Agreed. I think that like another pot calling the kettle black type of situation doesn't look good for Sony. But
what are you gonna do?
Let's see who's got the better lawyers. And talking about people who have the better liars.
The better liars?
Lawyers. Sorry.
I mean, liars work too.
Oh yeah.
All depends on the lawyer.
Peggy's Enforcement Committee released its decision relating to several cases, and Blizzard was fined 5,000 euros over Diablo Immortal.
I think I know the answer to this question, but is Peggy the ratings board for Europe or whatever?
Yes.
Okay. So PEGI. Not some lady named Peggy.
Yes, PEGI.
Okay.
The fine was due to the company's failure to disclose the presence of loot boxes in Diablo Immortal when the game was submitted for a rating license. And that actually goes against...
So they're enforcing that. Interesting.
Yeah. When I was reading it, Blizzard wasn't the only one that was fined for that.
Did they name anyone else?
They did. I just didn't copy and paste it into here.
You keep reading. I'll look.
Well, yeah. Basically, they've been told they've been fined the $5,000 and been told to update all marketing materials to inform the presence of the loot boxes. So yeah, they're not fucking around.
Well, that's interesting that they said that, because it's not like loot boxes were unknown here. We knew that they were coming. People were not happy that they were coming, but we knew that it was a thing.
We knew, but I'm guessing they didn't mention in the actual presentation or when they were trying to apply for the rating, which is the issue.
Which is really surprising, considering that's how they do shit. If you have loot boxes, you have to have like what's possible to win out of them and the percentage chance of getting those things.
Yeah. I'm guessing somebody wasn't really paying attention type of thing, and they're like, yeah, you're not gonna do this to us. Sorry.
Comparing Diablo Immortal to Star Wars Battlefront 2, which was fucking terrible. It was so bad with microtransactions and stuff when it came out. You had to pay so much money to be able to have the ability to unlock Darth Vader.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could grind it out, too, and, earn in-game shit to be able to buy it. But you were there for, weeks on end, on average, earning a specific amount to be able to do so. So it's like, the gameplay incentivized you to spend money to be able to get the stuff faster.
That's horrible. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah. You know how you can spend your money better than that, though?
How can you spend your money?
You can donate it to SGDQ, because they're raising money for Doctors Without Borders this week.
Yay!
I don't know what's on the list or anything interesting. I checked in earlier, and they were doing a speed run of Sonic Adventure DX from the Dreamcast. So it was pretty cool watching them play Big the Cat and instantly catching the little frog guy in each level.
Yeah.
That's it. It's been cool so far.
So donate, people, if you can.
Yes. Get them over, what is it, I think average of $3 million per event. I gotta sneeze.
Bless you. Bless you.
Alright, I'm good.
The first one I heard, the second one they muted.
Well, thank you. I had to calibrate for it.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, and even then, $5,000 seems like a slap in the wrist, to be honest, but I get it.
$5? What? You're
5,000 euros. Thing. Yeah. Oh, on the.
Devolver Digital gave a date for their showcase finally.
When's that?
June 8th.
Yay! Devolver.
I don't remember when that falls with Microsoft's. I think that's before it.
Okay.
What I need to do is go back and watch their old showcases, because apparently this one is called The Return of Volvi, and I don't remember that being a character in any of their showcases, so now I gotta go back and see if I missed anything.
It's going back all the way to the beginning.
I hope not. Oh, and just for you, I put that WrestleQuest is coming out on August 8th. They finally have a release date for that game. That's the wrestling RPG.
Oh, jeez.
Remember, dude, we talked about that a year ago, and here it is coming out now.
Holy crap.
It's like one of the first stories that we actually talked about and discussed the game. And now finally, a year later, here it is coming out.
At least it's a year. Could be worse.
Yeah, but I think the game's been in development for like 3 years.
But still a hell of a lot better than most games lately.
Yeah, I guess so. Better than 10. Oh, man. It's funny you mentioned that, Cyberpunk. That game was in development for fucking 10 years at least, I think. And now at the Summer Games Fest, they're going to show off Phantom Liberty.
Oh, Jesus.
Still no release date on it, but they're finally showing off some of the DLC.
Yay! Hopefully we get
But
some...
it's only a Summer Games Fest. During their free play days? Whatever the fuck that is.
Mm.
So you probably have to be there to see it. But they might... you know what? I will go out on a limb and say CDPR is going to put out a teaser during that, if not during one of the showcases before.
And we'll keep our eyes peeled.
Okay.
We'll talk about stuff coming up. You ready?
Yeah, I forgot that. I was waiting for you to bring this up. I'm surprised it took us this long.
I was trying to find the right time.
It was always the right time.
Are you ready for the update in the next couple of weeks?
Kinda, yeah. I want to learn more about the story. That's what I'm excited about.
Oh, same. For those of you
Mike's
that...
talking about Dreamlight.
Yes, we're talking about Dreamlight.
No, you were talking about Dreamlight. I'm listening.
Fine.
I'll interject as I see appropriate.
Okay. Update. It's been confirmed. Update 5 will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. Says early June. Update 5 is supposed to be the biggest update they've had so far. The main character they're releasing seems like it's going to be Fairy Godmother. You're going to be able to... You're going to get further in the story about the Forgetting. Where the system that you use to customize your clothes, you're going to be able to do that with furniture. You can put outfits
You can
together.
wear a couch?
Huh?
You can wear a couch?
You know what I mean. you can design...
I saw your face drop when I said that. You're like, really?
Smart ass. You should be able to design your own furniture. You can
It'd be cool to put motifs on furniture.
Yeah, pretty much. I could have like oh my god, a sofa with the Buzz Lightyear logo right dead center in the middle.
That'd be cool. What about the houses?
Oh
The
yeah,
ability to put extra houses in.
yeah. They're supposed to be able to because they have options to change the look of your house. But you can't have multiple out at the same time. So technically, if you wanted to, and you've purchased multiple motifs or
appearances
to the house, you can have multiple copies of your house around the place. So if you have the ship version, you can put it on. You can put it on the beach. If you want to put out different colored versions of the house and make your own little neighborhood, you can do that. Have out your Disney castle next to your if you did the Star Path, your attractions, and have your own little Disney World type of thing. The thing that where I'm most interested about is the new Star Path. They announced the next one's going to be another Pixar themed one. The ones that the items that they showed off were going to be like a new outfit for Buzz, some furniture. You know how like the memory wall in Inside Out?
Yeah.
You can get one of those. You can get a couple of statues that look like the red panda from Red.
Amelia's going to want us to get that. She loves that movie.
And she's going to love it even the next thing. They have, there's going to be a full onesie that you get to dress up as the Red Panda.
Okay, I want that too. That's cool.
But yeah, that's what's coming out for that stuff.
I'm excited for part of the summer update.
Which one? Vanellope?
Vanellope, man. I love Wreck-It Ralph.
That's good. Oh, talking about Vanellope, they have a code. I'll have to find it again. I haven't. I just saw it today. I didn't put it in our side yet. Supposedly there's a code to get Wreck-It Ralph themed items.
Ooh, fancy.
Mm-hmm. You get arcade machines. I want to say there's a skee ball machines, and
I'm gonna wreck it.
And I want to say an air hockey table.
Cool.
Callie agrees. That's exactly what's in them. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you for verification. Good to know she has our back.
Yes. If you guys didn't know, my wife is our in-house expert on Dreamlight. But yeah, and come September, we should most likely see Belle because they're using her as the promo picture for that. So,
and we talked about that last week, how she's front and center in like the loading screen when the first game came out, or when the game first came out.
Yeah, people. That's the one thing that bugs people the most is she's front and center in the main loading screen of the game, yet she still isn't in the game yet.
And that's like another thing too, where I think in one of the pictures you can see Vanellope on that loading screen. I think, or at least like there's pictures of her in the game too. And Amelia has seen it. She's like, "Can you go find her in the game?" I'm like, "She's not in the game right now. I don't know if they're gonna put her in."
I don't doubt that I didn't doubt that they were going to, especially when I kept seeing like Wreck-It Ralph items and stuff like that. I'm like, all right,
it's just a matter of time,
right? Like, there's no way they're gonna add these items into the game and not eventually add those characters from that story in there. It doesn't make sense.
No, but here we are with Tangled, but we only have Mother Gothel.
Yes, but eventually, I guarantee you they're going to bring Rapunzel into it, eventually.
No, they're just going to bring in the horse. They're going to bring in Maximus, and that's going to be
my God. If they bring in Maximus...
I'd be mad.
If they bring in Maximus, you better be able to ride the bastard.
Yeah, you're not going to, because he's going to be his own character. It's not going to work.
You hang out with him?
If they do that, I'm going to be sad. I love Rapunzel. She needs to be in it.
Actually, one of the promo arts, I don't know if you saw it, they showed... I want to say it's the same one that they have the fairy godmother in the right side. Looks like it's a treehouse, but you also see in the light a silhouette of a person. People are thinking it's Flynn Rider, and that's the silhouette. You're trying to look for that image, huh?
The one you sent, yeah. A silhouette, really? Where?
I might be thinking of a different picture. Okay. Yes. Go to.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you see it. You have to zoom in.
Treehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks like there's a shadow in there, but it's not detailed enough to make anything out.
Right. I'm wondering now that I'm seeing that Merlin's there. I'm wondering if it's Arthur.
That'd be a hell of a throwback.
Uh-huh.
Because he's the only real older Disney character in there. At least until the fairy godmother comes.
Pretty much.
Mickey doesn't count.
Yeah, the Mickey and Friends don't count at that point. That would be cool. I would like to see that.
So besides the summer update, what's coming later on? Because they had some things that are coming down the road, too.
Yeah, late 2023. Obviously, more characters. They're not saying who.
At least they're confirming it, though, because they have so many of those extra doors in the castle.
Yeah. I'm assuming at least another 6. Well, I had this conversation with Callie earlier, where I'm thinking at least, you know how they're going to be like doing the full launch free-to-play at some point next year, right? I'm assuming they're going to open the doors up in that main section first, and then release the game. And then the stuff on the sides, whatever realms are going to be on the sides, are probably going to be like patches later on, and that's where you're probably going to have to pay for later on to get access to.
That would be interesting. Wonder how that would look. Because this game is kind of like, it feels like it's living on monetization.
Yeah.
So the idea of having like paid DLC for the game is kind of interesting. Like, to me, it feels like it'd be hard to fit in there, but at the same time, it could work.
Right. They're probably going to do a. I don't know if they mentioned they had mentioned it in the past or not, but I think it's probably going to be a system similar to like the early access, where once it's full game, free to play, you don't need to pay the early access fee anymore. If you want to continue,
we've gone over this. You don't pay an early access fee. The game itself is free to play and will be free to play.
Yes, but for us to play it now, we had to pay the fee before it released.
You had to.
Well, it's included in your Game Pass.
It's free. I didn't pay for anything.
Because it's included in your Game Pass. If you didn't have Game Pass, you'd have to pay for it.
The joke is that I pay for Game Pass. Still an entry fee. I'm still paying money. I'm just not paying a Founders Pack or whatever price to get into it.
Well, good for you, you bastard.
Yeah, I still spend money on the game, so...
Well, yeah. But yeah, I can see them doing that. Paying, like, early access to DLCs, and eventually they release it for free later down the line, or 6 months down the line type of thing.
Knowing Disney, they probably won't let them put it up for free. If they go that route, it's always going to cost something.
I could see it going both ways, because that's probably how they had it set up.
Unless Disney has learned from their past mistakes, once this game doesn't make enough money to hit their bar or whatever, they're going to shut it down.
Yeah. At this point, it's still running strong. The thing I'm pretty sure you're more interested in is they mentioned New Frontiers. Duh.
Yeah, I'm wondering what that means. I'm wondering if that means they're going to like expand the valley, or if it's just going to like add on to the biomes or something.
Yeah, because
a little more diverse.
Yeah, because if it was going to be realms, they would say realms.
Yeah.
Frontiers makes it sound like it's going to be another biome or something like that.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And the interesting, well, talking about that, the interesting part is the image that they used for it was basically an hourglass sitting in on a sand dune. So the only movie I can think of that involves that is Aladdin. Mm-hmm. So what I'm thinking might be is later on we'll get like a desert biome, and if they keep to the same trend that they did with the other biomes, maybe we'll get Jafar first in that biome.
So as a counter to that idea, we're getting the fairy godmother first and then Belle. That's two hero characters, not a villain and then a hero person.
Fair enough. But with the no, I can't even say that with the Forest of Valor, because there was no villain for that one.
You can argue Kristoff was the guy for that, because he's got his cave over there. No, am I thinking of the wrong? No, that is that one, because the Frosted Heights is right next to it.
Right. But the villain for the Frosted Heights is basically your reverse character.
Bizarro main character.
Yeah, basically. Dazzle Beach was Ursula. The Glade was Mother Gothel, and
that bitch.
The Plateau was Scar. So, I would like to see that. I don't know. It's gonna be fun, and
more to do.
Multiplayer should be coming out later. So that is gonna be under the early access section, not with the full game. I thought they were gonna hold off for that at least. And then the new Royal.
Probably want to get shit worked out.
Huh?
Probably want to get shit worked out.
True. And what people are worried about is if they release the multiplayer, they're hoping people don't have access to like their storage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because
I'll say it again. They're probably going to go the route of Animal Crossing, where you can visit the person's valley and interact with stuff, but you can't take things out of stuff. You can't move anything. You can't manipulate things. You might be able to collect sticks and stuff that are on the ground, but that would be about as far as you could go.
I hope it goes that route, because I can see people get very pissed off if somebody steals their shit.
Yeah. You gotta lock that stuff down.
Seeing as a lot of people use their chests outside. Like me, I have multiple storages.
That's odd.
Why?
We do all of our chests inside.
We do. I did that at first, especially when I saw people setting up like separate rooms for different things, and that's where my storage was. And then I started getting lazy, so I had chests in their individual biomes, and whatever I collected from that biome went into that chest.
So you're just taking away that extra step and just making sure that things are within arm's reach at all times.
Pretty much, because when you go to craft stuff or cook stuff, anyways, they're all connected.
It all pulls from it anyway. Yeah.
Right.
I appreciate that at least. You don't have to like designate anything or like tie stuff to something. It's just always always accessible from wherever you are.
Right, and I want to say one of the better quality of life stuff that they did was when they put it in. I don't remember which update that they did that was. Remember how before, if you had stuff in your storage and you had a quest pop up, if it wasn't in your backpack, it didn't register.
Oh yeah.
And now it picked it up in your storage too. Doesn't do it for all of them, but it for a good majority of the stuff. It does it. Oh, and apparently there's supposed to be a new royal tool that we're going to be getting at some point later in the year.
News to me.
Callie thinks it might be a bug catcher's net.
That would make sense. Introduce a new thing to collect.
Yeah, because if you notice when you go into like, I don't know if it's just because it's springtime, but if you go into the main plaza, you will see butterflies all over the place.
Mm-hmm. It could just be an aesthetic thing too, but who knows?
It could be. What other? I know it's a little far fetched, but other possibility might be. Some people have thought it could be like a snorkel type of thing, so you can actually go in the water.
Yeah, that might be too much because you've already got fishing. What more would they want to do with the water? Like, add something different.
Well, that could be like the next biome to try and talk to like you have characters like Flounder, Sebastian, or characters from Finding Nemo, which you wouldn't see out of the water.
That's true.
Maybe get lucky and find Pudge the fish.
But that would get annoying really quick too, though. Because considering how like water traversal is in games, the fact that you have to swim around and you can't really do much in the water, I would guess that would probably get really old really fast.
True. I'm just trying to think of how they would best go about that.
Look at the bitching for the Destiny 2 underwater sections right now.
Yeah, it wasn't. I thought there was going to be.
I'm fine with it. People are complaining it's too slow and don't like the bubbles and shit. They're working with what they got, and if you're jumping underwater, you're not slow.
I wish there was more to it, to be honest.
Yeah. All it is just another layer of traversal to the next point of whatever you're doing. There's not much to it.
Right. Like if it was, and I could understand not being able to fire certain weapons underwater or anything like that. But
well, hang on, there is something to it. There are hidden collectibles and stuff in certain missions, like either in the deep dive or in salvage, where you find it in there and then it shows up in the aquarium in the helm.
Okay.
That's all that it's for, though. Like they're hidden in the underwater sections and stuff, but that's all that there is so far.
Well, I was kind of half expecting to have like actual water fights and stuff like that, because even if you can't, I understand you can't fire lasers underwater or whatnot, but have like specific weapons that you can use underwater, like harpoons and shit like that, or being able to travel.
The new glaive from the dungeon looks like a harpoon.
Ooh, I haven't seen that yet.
No, sorry, spoiled it for you.
But yeah, or even what we were talking about, how cool it would have been to ride like a space whale or something.
Oh well, maybe eventually we'll get to ride a whale.
Maybe. I don't know. The way they played it up, it seemed like there was going to be more involved under the water.
And now I'm thinking of Futurama, the Whalers of the Moon.
Well, yeah.
Oh, did you know that Futurama's starting again on Hulu?
Yeah, they're bringing it back. I think the only, last I heard, the only character that's not reprising his role is the guy who does the voice for Bender.
So he was holding out because he was fighting for money for everybody, I think, or like he didn't like the terms of their contract, but they worked it out, so he is doing the voice still.
Oh, he is coming back. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how do you? I can't picture anybody else saying, "Bite my shiny yellow, my shiny
Yellow.
ass."
Bender's great. Bite my shiny yellow ass.
I don't know where the hell that yellow's coming from.
This is going to be a really obscure reference if you don't watch Futurama, but it's the parallel universe episode where they find Bender as the gold Bender instead of the gray Bender.
That's a shiny yellow ass.
I don't know how to switch gears to bring this up, but the last thing I want to hit on is the fact that CDPR had to come out and... Okay, since we mentioned Destiny, this is going to like wrap into that too.
Uh-huh.
A Destiny 2 leaker that goes by the name of Liz apparently shared some quote-unquote insider information that Sony was developing a Days Gone 2. I don't know if you remember that game or not, but that was the game where the zombies are freakers, and the devs came out and was like, the game sold way better than it actually did, and Sony's lying to us about the sales when they were looking at the wrong number.
Yeah.
They put out like a rumor that Sony was working on a Days Gone 2 game, and that they were in talks of buying CD Projekt Red, the makers of Cyberpunk and stuff. And it got so widespread that they had to come out and say, yeah, no, this is all bullshit. And Sony even did too, was like, this is not happening, there's no talks to this, and we're not making this game, don't know where this came from or why. No clue why this person threw that out there. They just mentioned it offhand during whatever leak they were doing. And it got so widespread that the companies actually had to say something. Usually those things just go right by and they don't care.
Well, wasn't the last leak the major leak, something like that too, where they were like, "Oh, this was just a joke," type of thing.
That was for Bungie and Destiny specifically, saying that they were going to implement a subscription service, I think it was, and that caused an uproar.
Yeah.
But they were just like, yeah, we just said it because we wanted to. It's not true.
Could be another one of those situations, to be honest.
Well, this person they leaked Destiny 2 stuff, so it's like, sure, Sony owns Bungie, but why just throw this shit out of nowhere? Because it has nothing to do with Bungie.
I don't know. I don't see any rhyme or reasoning, but
I don't understand why people throw away their livelihoods and ruin their NDAs and stuff by leaking the shit, but everybody's different.
Somebody was pissed off, I guess.
Or just dumb.
That too.
I mean, you're just burning bridges doing that shit, but you do you.
And we still appreciate any extra information you send our way.
I'm condemning him, and you're like, yeah, it's cool, keep going.
It's not affecting me.
Jeez.
You have the right
to
do
my livelihood. I just report on this shit. I'm fine. You're fucked.
I heard from you that this is what's happening.
You're just using people for cannon fodder. It's like, I don't care. I'm getting mine.
I'm normally not that much of an asshole.
I don't think you meant for it to come off that way, but that's definitely how it came across. The fuck you, I got mine mentality.
Oh, man. We got our fun.
Good job.
Thank you.
Hey, look, we made it.
Yay!
That was pretty good timing.
Oh, shit. 3 minutes short.
I was going to say, you didn't see what time it actually was?
I did not. We were busy talking. I was enjoying myself. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I can say you're welcome because I was a part of it. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
Now, where can these fine listeners...
Fine viewers.
Yeah, I know, right? Not yet.
Where are they going to see us at? Not anywhere.
Not yet, anyways.
Not yet. Working on it. I don't know what this cat wants. But you can find us where you find any of your podcasts, or you should be able to find them. And social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Was it Ramblepack Pod on Twitter and Instagram and Ramblepack Podcast on Facebook? Search us. We should come up on Google easily.
Oh, yeah. I haven't done a Google search in a while.
I keep kicking around the idea of starting a website just to, like, bring everything together and put it all there as we, like, look up news and whatnot. Maybe, like, a forum, kind of. I don't know. I'm kicking around ideas, something to do just for fun.
As long as it doesn't cost anything, because I don't want to... Unless you guys want to donate, by all means.
There you go. Reason to open up a Patreon. Give us your money we can do shit for you.
Tell us what you think, guys. Share. Give us comments. Join us on Facebook.
Share, like, and subscribe. Tell a friend.
Yeah. We're not YouTube yet. Eventually, we will.
I will get these put up on YouTube eventually. I just need to sit down and actually, like, put shit together. Life is just too busy.
Wow.
One day, we'll get there.
Show us the interest. Show us some love.
We have interest. People are listening.
Fine. Give us more love. I'm clingy.
Go talk to your wife. I think she went to bed. Go love her.
She's too clingy.
Oh.
I love you, dear. If you're hearing me.
For you. I was waiting to hear something. Oh well. Alright. I'm ready for bed after I edit this thing. So let's go to bed.
Good night.
Separately but equally.